does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Today, very excited to check out Take the Train. This is for 2 to 6 players, ages 7 plus. It'll take you about, 15-20 minutes to play. And in Take the Train, you are going to be trying to get rid of all the cards in your hand by laying down train tracks. But it's not going to be that easy because you're going to spend your valuable train fare when you can't play cards out of your hand. It is a simple, light, mass market feeling game. But is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Take the Train. So first and foremost, we've got a handy dandy rule sheet. It's one page, double-sided, full color. It's got some illustrations, some pictures. It's very well done. It should have you up and running pretty smoothly. It's also a pretty simple game, so I can give you a feel for how it works right now. So at Take the Train, at the beginning of the game, you're going to get a whole bunch of these chips right here. These are called train fare, and you're trying to have the most of the train fare at the end of the game. You're going to get to keep your train fare by playing a card every turn and by going out first, aka getting rid of all of your cards. Whoever has the most train fare at the end will be the winner of the game, but let's go over the components, we'll get the gameplay, it'll make a lot more sense. So first you're going to get all these cards. The cards are mostly going to have numbers between 1 and 12 of them. They're going to come in different colors. You'll get orange and green and blue and purple or red or whatever that color is. You're also going to get what are called station cards, and these are very important because this is the only way that you can play these train cards down is by having that color station in place. I do also want to mention there are exactly enough cards to do everything you want to do. So there are 1 through 12 of blue and 1 blue station in the entire game. So you're not quite sure where all the cards you need are. Now that being said, there also are called free ride cards, or which these ones right here, which are kind of like wilds. So you can play this as any color and any number that you would like. But the kicker is someone else who actually does have that number. So let's just say I use this free ride as a 4 blue. I could come in later and pick up that free ride and place down the 4 blue. And now I have a free ride, which can potentially help me get rid of all of my cards. The last kind of card you're going to see is the transfer card, and you're only going to use this in the advanced version of the game, and I'll show you how that works a little bit later once we get things set up. Oh, my bad. There's also one more additional card, which is the end of the line, which will immediately cancel out a train line and make it go so it goes the other way. But that doesn't make any sense to you. Let's just show you how the game is played, and then we'll explain the end of the line. So at the beginning of the game, each player is going to get 13 cards or 8 cards, depending on the player count. You're going to spread out these chips evenly, and then the person who's the left of the dealer who has a station card will go first. So I would go first because I have, look here, I have 2 station cards. Now, on your turn, you have 4 options that you will be able to do on your turn. First option is that you can play down a station card like such. So I'll just play down the station card, and that would be the end of my turn. The next thing you can do is you can play on a station card that's already been played down. How this works is this side is going to be numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then this side is going to be numbers 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But you have to put it in that order. So right now I would have to have an orange 6, an orange 7, or a free ride in order to play right here. So I do not have an orange 6. I do not have an orange 7. But you know what? I'll just play down another station. That's what I'll do on my turn, and that would be my turn right there. Now it comes back to me next turn. I still do not have an orange 6 or an orange 7, but what I do have is a free ride. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play this, and I'm going to go ahead and play this. Because you can play as many cards as you want on your turn as long as they are numerically next to each other. So you can put 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 3, 2, 1, or any of those combinations of the such. And that would be the end of my turn. Now, the other thing you can do on your turn is you can play specialty cards. So you can play the specialty cards, and that's exactly what I'll do now. I'll show you how the end of the line card works. So you play the end of the line card, you play it right here, and now you can no longer put any other cards after this 8, which means on this side you're going to have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10, 9. So it just kind of makes it so that everything is going to go on the other side of the station. So it is a little bit of an interesting card there. The last option you can do is that if you do not have anything to play, so let's just say you're looking at your hand and you're like, oh man, I can't play any of these cards, then you draw a card and then you pay a train fare. So this is how you're going to end up losing your valuable poker chips. Now, one thing I do want to mention, a little bit strategy in this game, if you end up playing it, is that you'll quickly find out that you actually want to only play about one card at a time unless you think you're about to go out, because it really hurts you when you have to not play and you have to get rid of a poker chip. But anywho, you're going to continue to do this until someone completely runs out of cards. Once someone has ran out of cards, then the end of the game will immediately come on. And you look at your hand, and every card is going to give you 1 point, and every special card you have in your hand is going to give you 2 points. And those are points that you're going to lose. So for instance, let's just say this is my ending hand. I would turn in 4 chips. And however many chips I had left would be my final score. Now, I talked a little bit about the transfer card earlier. This is used for the advanced version of the game. It allows you to negate not having a station card in play. So let's just say I want to play this transfer card. I could play it right here on this 8, and then let's hope I actually have a card in my hand. I could then turn around and put this 8 red right here, and this would now start the train line without a station. So it just gives you a little bit more options when you're playing the game. I actually wholeheartedly recommend it once you know what you're doing. But that in a nutshell is how you're going to play Take the Train. Alright then, Take the Train from Bicycle Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go to the pros, let's go to the cons. First on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. It's very light, it's very simple, it's very luck driven. This is like a game similar to Uno in the aspect of if you start off with a good hand, you have a good chance to win. If you start off with a bad hand, you have a bad chance to win. And obviously, there's not too much strategy in the game. Now, I will say when you add the transfer card in, it does add a little bit of strategy, and I do like that version of the game a lot better than I like the basic version of the game. Another con that I have with this game is that there's not much strategy to the game at all. You know, I just mentioned that the transfer card adds a little bit of strategy, but other than that, it's just the only real strategy is eventually you'll learn, hey, I should probably only play one card at a time, because if I play more than one card at a time, it would be much more likely to spend my chips and have to draw more cards. So yeah, that's about all I got on the con side. It's a pretty forgettable game, and it's mass market. It has a mass market feel, and I feel like moving on to the pros, it's okay. That's the best thing I can say about this game, is that it's serviceable. It has decent rules. The gameplay is okay. I had a little bit of fun with the game, but it's not anything I would ever want to play ever again. Like I said, I like other mass market style games better than this game. That's probably why you've never heard of this game. Continuing on with the pros, I do like the special ability cards. I like the end of the line. I like the transfer. I like how you can pick up the free ride cards. I think that's an interesting concept. Component-wise, the components are nice. You get the little poker chips, which are fun to play with, and the cards are perfectly serviceable. I like the fact that there's just enough cards in the game. You know, there's only 1 through 12 of each color, and there's a couple free rides in there, so you really can kind of puzzle together what your next turn might potentially be, and you're not quite sure who has which cards, or if the cards you need might still be in the deck, and I like that aspect of the game. I thought it was pretty interesting. But for the most part, it's just okay. This is one of those games that I reviewed it, and now I'm going to get rid of it, because there's countless, there are hundreds, there are thousands of other games that I would rather play that are about the same time link and the same complexity. You know, this one's easy to learn, easy to teach, but that being said, this is still a very forgettable game. So that is Take the Train from Bicycle Games, one that I really can't recommend over any other games. It's okay. And that's okay, but it's not good. Yeah. If you enjoyed my review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. How much do you hate trying to do things with a clogged nose? Right now I'm reviewing with a clogged nose, and it feels terrible. I really just want to blow my nose so badly, and I'm just worried that like giant snot bubbles are going to start popping out. As soon as we get over this take, I'm just going to rip into this paper cloth that I have that I've been rolling my nose on. Not paper cloth, paper towel. Let me know in the comments below. How much do you hate when your nose is clogged and you're trying to do stuff? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.